Hello, I'm Tom Meeks, and this is 3D Design for Fun and Life, featuring Moment of Inspiration, using the uniquely easy Noun and Verb method.
This session is Moment of Inspiration User Interface.
If you thought 3D design was beyond your reach, or you tried and were disappointed by other 3D design applications, I want to assure you that you are in for a very pleasant treat. A large part of my reason for saying this is that the Moment of Inspiration interface is unlike any other 3D application with which I'm familiar. The entire Moment of Inspiration interface is designed to provide help and guidance at every stage of the design process. The view window may appear to be like others you have seen or used, but even it presents subtle differences that make it special. It is your window into the design space. The split view is the default. It presents 4 different views at the same time, in this case, top, front, right, and 3D.
Buttons at the bottom, below the view window, let us toggle between the split view format and a single view selected by clicking on a button with the left mouse button. In any single view, except the 3D view, clicking with the left mouse button again reverses the view. Top and bottom, front and back, and right and left.
Notice that at the bottom of the view window are some controls that become more visible as we mouse over them. They allow us to select an area for closer viewing, zoom in, panning, and reset the view in one of 2 different ways. We'll demonstrate these as we explore the live context-sensitive help Moment of Inspiration provides as we work.
To the left of the view selection buttons, we have buttons to save our work, undo and redo changes, and delete unwanted objects. Just to the right of the view selection buttons are text boxes that serve double duty. Usually they provide information, but we can also enter information into those text boxes, as we shall see shortly.
To the right of these text boxes, we have 3 snap controls. They are toggled on and off with a left mouse click.
Grid Snap focuses on snapping to the grid depending on the settings we entered in Options. Object Snap helps us by snapping on an existing object or the center of a radius. Straight Snap helps us line up horizontally and vertically. It also affects how construction lines behave.
On the far right, there are the Options button that allows us to customize our interface, the Help button that brings up Moment of Inspiration's online help, and the Browser button that toggles the object browser on and off. It's important to note here that the object browser is such an essential part of the user interface, we have dedicated a separate session to fully explaining how it works. So, for now, we'll move on to the Help button. When we hover over the Help button, an up arrow appears. Clicking the arrow brings up the About MOI, where we can find links and useful information, including the license key for purchased installs.
In the default location, down the right-hand side of the screen, are tabbed tool palettes. The official name for all of these, no matter the content, is Command Palette. But for this course, we use a noun and verb point of view when referring to these palettes. This makes a clear distinction between palette number 1, which presents all of the nouns, and palettes 2 through 4, which present exclusively Moment of Inspiration's verbs. More on this later.
It cannot be emphasized enough that the empty area above the palettes is the most important real estate on the entire screen, especially for new user.
This area provides 2 critical functions. The first function of this area occurs when a noun or verb is first selected from a palette. It is in this area that Moment of Inspiration provides step-by-step guidance for using the selected noun or verb, and it also displays the options that are available for the selected noun or verb. To demonstrate this, we will choose to create a circle using the center method. Immediately upon clicking on the center button, a dialog pops up in the area above the palettes.
At the top of this box is the prompt for the first step in creating a circle using the center method.
Just below the prompt line, we see that we have one option, vertical. We'll leave that unchecked for now and follow the directions of the first prompt by clicking somewhere in the view window. When we click in the window, a point is placed in the view area, and the prompt is immediately changed to provide us with our second step.
In this case, it reads pick radius.
But another thing also happened when we placed our first point. More options were displayed. There are text boxes with labels reading radius and circum. These text boxes give us the option of using the mouse to pick the radius, in which case the values are simply displayed, or actually entering values into either of these boxes to define the radius directly, or by defining the desired circumference. While it is rare that we pick our radius by defining the circumference, we'll do just that now, and the radius is calculated. We have finished the circle by completing all the prompts. Now it's time to see the second critical function of this area, reporting and altering.
When we select a noun, it changes color. At the same time, the noun's property dialog box pops up. It provides the status of the name, the type of object, and the style of the object. It also provides size information. And finally, new to version 4, there is a Details button that, when clicked, opens up a dialog with detailed information, including the ability to calculate more useful information. In this case, it calculates the circumference of the circle. This is very helpful information when using certain verbs like flow.
I mentioned altering. This dialog also allows us to name the object.
As you can see, it is critically important that you get in the habit of paying close attention to the prompts in this area as you learn to use Moment of Inspiration.
Our next session will expand on other features of Moment of Inspiration designed to make your life easier as you design your own 3D objects for fun and life.
About the Moment of Inspiration samples used in this session. These objects were derived from the same original design by Tom Meeks. The version on the left was intended to be printed with a Formlabs SLA printer, which prints objects from a hanging position, so thin, light walls were optimal for printing success. The version on the right was specifically intended to test printing with a ceramic powder printer by a Ukrainian company called Quambio. It had to survive firing in a kiln, so thicker, heavier walls were optimal for printing success. Here is a picture of the final ceramic print. With Moment of Inspiration, it is very easy to customize any basic design to optimize it for a specific 3D printer's requirements, including metal and ceramics. And that is very cool.